Good morning, dear children. Today we are going to study a new topic. I will begin by asking a question, giving you a situation first. Say you are in a class and the teacher is teaching a very important concept. Uh, don't you think it is difficult for us to remember everything taught in the class in the same order? Also, you must have noticed in your daily lives, it is not possible to memorize everything. So, to overcome this difficulty, one notes down the important details, and these notes help us in the time of need. The noting down of useful concepts and points is the basis of what one calls note making. Yes, dear students, we are going to start with a very important topic, that is note making. This question will come under reading section, that is section A of your paper. Question 1 will contain a comprehension passage for 12 marks, and this question on note making is question number 2 under this reading section. It comes for 8 marks. So we will study note making today and the format of note making. Now let us see what is note making. As you can see on your screen, dear children, note making is a way of recording important details from a source. This source can be any book, article, meeting, or any oral discussion. In note making, the person who writes the notes records the essence. Essence refers to the main points of the total information given in the passage. It helps us to understand and clarify thinking. Note making saves a lot of time by going through the notes that one makes. One can just get a glimpse of a lot of information from a short note. Actually, dear children, this means to say that the whole information that is written on a page can be seen and retained by you in just a glance after you have made the notes. Now we come to the advantages of note making. Why do we need to write notes? What are the advantages? Certainly we write something or we learn something to do in life only if it has advantages. A note making is a skill which improves by practicing. The more you practice, like your mathematical sums, like your numericals, the more you gain the skill of making notes. Let us know what are the advantages of note making. First and foremost, it helps you, it helps the students, that is you, during your exams or in any piece of academic writing. You can use the notes for your future. It helps in keeping the information handy whenever we require. Just a glance needed. It helps in recollecting and recalling the past events said or heard. It also helps in concentrating, understanding, and It provides a permanent record. If the notes are in your own words, dear children, you must have noticed that it helps in understanding the content that you have written. Finally, it distinguishes between the main points and further the details of the main points. Dear children, notes cannot be made in just the way you want them to make. There's a proper format for making notes. There's a fixed note-making format, and you need to follow this note-making format so that you have a clear understanding, unambiguous understanding from your notes that you have made. If you see towards the right side of your screen, you will see that I have written with my hand a sample of how note making should be done. In the first line, you're going to write, this is answer number, whatever. It is generally answer 2. You're going to write the word title followed by a colon or a hyphen, and then you need to write the heading or the title of the passage given to you for making notes. You have to read the passage. After reading, you will come to know what the passage is all about. And when you have answered this question in your minds, you get the answer to the title of your passage. Just notice that I have written this title in capital letters and I have double underlined it. You need to do the same. Then you may leave a line and we go on to answer the first part of the question, that is part A. The question has 2 parts. 1, you need to make notes in an appropriate format along with few abbreviations. Part B, you need to summarize the content, the notes that you have made. So let us answer part A of the question, where we have to make the notes. See children, there are many formats for making the notes, but let us make it uniform for all the children in our class. We will write it as 1, and in front of 1 we are going to write down the main point. Now every paragraph in the passage you will see will carry a main point. The main point will become the heading for that particular passage, for that particular paragraph, I mean to say. Under the main point, if you will notice, I have moved to a little right hand side, which is what you have to do. This is called indentation. You have to properly write your points and sub-points and sub-sub-points. You cannot just write A, B, C, D, the sub-points under 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to move towards a little right. That is, you have to use proper indentation to make your notes. You will at a glance see that I have written all the main points in one vertical line, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you will also notice that I have written all the sub-points A, B, C, D, whether it's of the first main point or of the second main point, third or the fourth main point in one vertical line. And then if we move further, Towards the right, for C and D part of the first main point, I have made sub points also. You will get more clarity when we will solve a passage as an example, as a sample. As of now, just try to understand how we have to present our notes. Presentation makes a distinguished mark when you have to get marks for your note making. So remember, dear children, this is how you're going to present your notes. For every paragraph, there will be one main point, and the points related to that main point in that particular paragraph will be your sub points for a particular main point. Let us move further. On the left hand side, I have finished my note making by writing 5 main points. There may or may not be sub points to sub points everywhere. Depends upon what is given in the passage. Generally, you're supposed to make 4 to 6 main points, or it may also depend upon the length of the passage or the number of paragraphs in the passage. After you've made the notes, the arrow refers or indicates that you have to leave a line here. Then you have to make a box and write down the word key to abbreviations. Minimum 4 abbreviations are required to be written. I will go in detail to tell you about how to do your note making and how to go ahead with writing your abbreviations. Again, after making the box of abbreviations, you have to leave a line. You can see an arrow again, and you come to answer the part B of the question, wherein you have to write the summary of the passage in about 80 to 100 words. This summary you will develop from the notes that you have made in sequential order. On the right hand side, you can see the marking scheme. The title carries 1 mark. The notes carry 3. Abbreviations, if you write them correctly, you get 1 mark. And for summary, which you will develop from your notes into a single paragraph with the help of sentences, you will get 3 marks. So a total of 8 marks for this question. All right, dear students, we will continue further tomorrow with more details of what we have to do for note making, the tips and other things that we have to write under notes. Thank you. Good day.